Let's see. Alrighty. Looks like everything's coming through properly. So, welcome back to Underrail. I'm gonna give it just a minute. But, this one will go on for a while. But, with Resident Evil 4 completed, the next major thing to finish would be Black Mesa. I don't foresee Underrail being done for at least another 15 streams, and that might be pushing it a little bit. There's still some chunky stuff to go through. Anyway, good evening and welcome back. Hope everything's going well. Last left off after clearing up things in Rail Crossing, and we started doing a good chunk of the events in Foundry. Kick the speed up to 5 again. Caught 2 of the borers from the mines. We'll probably do a few extra bits here and there before we head back and get our samples processed. What I really would like to do is get some items out of a certain portion of the cave. Skeleton visor. Foundry worker visor with a skull painted on it. Looks cool, but very impractical. Worth 2 oddity points. Thanks for bumping into me. Just go ahead and get both of those out of the way then. Wait for chunky boy. Wow, y'all don't have much in the way of movement. Okay. So, expose. I believe we covered that there are no ribs because they are bugs, basically. Yup. So. Another serrated blading blade worth 2 points. Taking that for sure. I believe I already capped on. Yep, capped on bar maws or jaws. Don't mind me, just going to punch you to death. Oh. Should be fine. Yet another serrated blading blade. And once again, knocked out of stealth. I do foresee us easily hitting level 18 tonight. Beyond that, I do not know. Go ahead and take that. And that is not what should have been happening. But there's the beast. Has 810 health. Seems real easy to deal with, right? Haha. Might as well let it play out for the moment just because that happened. Oh, I say that. I could well, won't matter now. But here's what Exposed Weakness does. Nothing. Completely immune to dismantling effects. Resisted all the damage. So as you can tell, it is not very feasible to put it down. We'll take that. We want all of that. And once again, just gonna kill the little ones along the way, ensure that they do not get in the way. Pneumatic tornado crossbow. Don't care too much about that. What we do care about is this faceless mask fragment. This is a fragment of a faceless mask. The inner workings of the mask have been destroyed or removed, so it's impossible to tell if there is some non-obvious purpose the mask serves. Worth one oddity point. Also, another pretty solid weapon, most likely, for selling purposes. Now, the real question is, can I totally just disengage? Maybe? No. If I could get further away in one turn without burning resources, probably. Oh well. Not like it matters too much. I'm gonna drop all these off in this cart right here. More little borers. New obsidian shard, so that's 4 out of the total 6. And every now and then, the chromium rocks that you try to use the jackhammer on are actually these. Which we will continue to farm for, if only to ensure that we get the oddities from them. Need to charge again. Yep. Oh boy. Who'd have thought that it would actually be a pain to kill one when my exposed weakness does not proc. Okay. Go ahead and drop off the extra chromium blades. Let's not miss this time. Okay. Promise there's a reason for all this. You know what, let's mix it up and go Dirty Kick first. See if that drastically increases the total damage I put out. They really don't want to give me those blades. Let's see, we're at what? Alright, the good news is I only need one more. Problem is, that's one more that needs to actually drop. Alright, let's go dump those. At that point, we don't need to dump anymore, so all we need to do is grab the good stuff, and then we can go elsewhere. Just go ahead and plant this back on. Oh, you know what? Just put it there. Let's try this again. Kick him right in the bug nuts. And I picked it up on reflex. Wow, calling me a nerd. Can't believe you would do that. Actually, I can totally believe you'd do that, Ski. I promise we'll be leaving the mines as soon as we're, well, able, but I need to get one more item as a precaution before I leave. Because unfortunately the Bladelings are not cooperating. They are really not cooperating. Oh, Jackhammer's out of juice too. Well, I could risk it later, but we might be taking a break until more spawn. Well, I can at least go forward with most of the events. It's not even a guarantee that I'll miss out on anything, but I really would prefer to not risk it. How's the Dariata run going, or are you done with it now? course, if you're in the middle of a fight, don't actually, like, break off and comment. Unless it's downtime. I'll take the scrap. I do like that they added the item for the blunt melee, but I would never use that on my... Well, I suppose if you needed to be sure an attack did some immense damage, I guess I could. But you can't use it in combat, so... So at the moment, we do need to head elsewhere and funnel the goods we took out of the mines to a certain couple of people. I'll take that for sure. It's another skeleton visor. And we are 10 points away from the level. No, actually, why am I coming out to the train? I have a much better way of transportation. Drink the juice. Since it's been a fair bit, let's see if we can grab some more juice from Dude. We cannot. Unfortunate. Head up to, or actually no, we're on the correct level. That friend of yours, Dude, he's quite an unusual character. Oh yes, tell me about it. He arrived here not too long after you and I spoke. Can't say he had quite a... I don't know if that's coming through on the mic, but I do apologize if it is. Can't say he had quite a wholesome appearance, but he was polite. We had a bit of an argument over him wanting to pay me in brew, but we sorted that out somehow. However, what I found most baffling was his departure. After picking up the package, he went inside the storage room. I saw him and... Oh boy, I hope they don't keep doing that this evening. And yelled to him that is not where the elevator is, but he still went inside. Brett and I checked the storage room, but he wasn't there. He was pulling a prank on us, must have. There's no other exit from that room. Your friend surely is odd. Yes, prank. Dude's a prankster at heart. Haha, yes. Anyway, there was something I wanted to ask you. And yes, if you hadn't already done this, if you hadn't already connected to the portal, this is actually one way the game points out, hey, you've got one literally right here. I wanted to ask you about some odd creatures that are plaguing Foundry at the moment. Thought you might know something. Foundry? Sure. Can you describe these creatures to me? There are these highly aggressive quadrupedal creatures, most easily recognized by shells made of rock with metallic blades protruding from their backs. Ever seen anything like that? Never. But it sounds really intriguing. I'd remember it, that's for sure. You could bring me some part of the creature, or a live specimen, then I'd be more than happy to share anything I learn with you. There are these worm-like things with weird heads shaped like small drills. Drills? I've heard of a fair share of odd beings, but one with a drill for head? Never in my lifetime. Could you catch one, if that's possible? I'd love to take a look at the creatures, and you need some answers. Or else you wouldn't be talking to me in the first place, I have a piece of the rock creature. Let me see. Quentin inspects the piece you gave him. Fascinating. As if you'd attached this from a piece of machinery and not a living, breathing creature. This is from its back, right? Is that what you said? Yes, their backs are covered with these blades. Well, this is what I can tell you about the creature by looking at this. Considering what you've told me, the blades grow out of its back. I can guess that it serves a defensive purpose. I see no cavities or canals for nerves or blood vessels to go through, or to accommodate any kind of organic matter. To illustrate what I mean, I'll take our very own bones as an example. We grow our bones through a process called ossification. Do you know what that is? No. What is that? Your bones contain cells called osteoblasts, which secrete the minerals necessary to form bone. The process by which they do this is called ossification. Now, bone tissue is usually composed of a mineral matrix which contains these cells, and bones themselves are composed of approximately 70% mineral content. This blade here, this is one solid piece of metal. No organic matter whatsoever, no porosity, and no traces that this grew out of a living being. How does it grow then? That I don't know. Tooth enamel, for instance, is almost completely made of hydroxylapatite? Hydroxylapatite? A kind of calcium phosphate, with the rest being water and a hint of organic matter. Enamel is formed within the gums before the tooth grows out, so there is a possibility that this blade is formed within the shell and grows out later. But how? I don't know. Right now, I can only make speculations. Here, take this blade back. If you want to test its composition, better have that done by someone, well, someone who is not a biologist, that's for sure. A smile lifts his mask slightly up. You can bring me any other parts of a creature or a live specimen, then we have ourselves a winner. This, however, I'm sorry. This is all fascinating, in any case. I've captured one of these worms. Quentin inspects the creature as it squirms inside the crate. As soon as it spots him, the creature begins thrashing about, occasionally stopping to aim its head at him and screech in an act of desperate intimidation. Now this is what I'm talking about. I'd like to take a look at it. Anything I should know before opening the crate? How dangerous is it? You've got nothing to worry about. I handle it with my bare hands. He carefully grabs the creature, holding it firmly as it wriggles in his hands. He takes a good look at it, charmed by its oddity and alien form, before he turns to you. Please wait while I examine it. This won't take long. The creature suddenly makes a few powerful motions, wailing its unheld ends, and shakes Quentin's upper body, and prompting and prompting him to even spread his legs a bit in order to maintain proper balance. He is able to control it, however. This one's a fighter. And the poor boar was never heard from again. You wait while Quentin completes his examination, observing him as he performs it with great focus and care. How, after only a few minutes, he makes it seem as if he had been handling these creatures for years. Slowly and steadily, he finishes the examination. He places the creature back into its mobile jail, turns to you, but only to inform you that he needs to leave and do one more test. The two are gone for a while, and the boar was never heard from again. Soon he returns to you with a genuine smile on his face, overflowing with excitement. He wastes no time. I'm back, Bacon. Hope you didn't fall asleep waiting for me. You seem happy. I hope you've got something good for me. You'll see. First, without dissecting the creature, which I would never do without consulting you, I can tell you a couple of things I've learned so far. Their heads do appear to be used for actual drilling, even though I haven't been able to see it in action yet, obviously. The combination of the unique shape of the head and the surprisingly powerful musculature makes me feel that it engages its whole body during the process. Maybe it, say, rotates itself in short bursts, or maybe it coils up and releases the energy in that manner. I'm just speculating. What is a fact, though, is that the head is very, very tough, so I have no doubt that it can bore through hard material without much of an issue. As for the rest of the creature's body, it is segmented and has a decently thick skin covered in what appear to be very soft, delicate scales, or at least something similar to it, as in snakes. It probably helps them move, possibly to retain moisture too. The skin is also highly sensitive, which makes sense for a creature limited in ways it can acquire information about its environment. There are a few other details about it, but those are quite minor and uninteresting. Now, what I did was a quick superficial examination. I'd need to dissect the creature to really tell you more about its anatomy. However, I saved the good stuff for last. I decided to do some psi readings. That's why I left the room earlier, and the readings were off the charts. In fact, the creature exhibits a psi signature so strong, I'm surprised it does not have some defensive psi abilities at its disposal. However, the signature is also incredibly complex, and I am not ashamed of telling you that even I am having problems interpreting it. He shrugs. I'm afraid that analyzing it is well above my skill level, but I am absolutely 100% positive that understanding the psi signature will not only help you on your, for lack of a better word, quest, but also pave the way to engrossing scientific discoveries for those of us who care, if nothing else. So there. That is all I have for you. That's all very interesting regarding the psi signature. Do you know anyone I can take this larva to? Well, as far as psi in general is concerned, Ezra is the top expert in SGS, so he is the right person to bring this critter to. If he can't help you, then you're stuck. Yeah, well, he hands you the crate back. Here, captivating little thing this is, and feisty. I'll bring this to him then, thanks. Let's go over to engineering and cyber labs. Bacon, could you take a look at this for me? Ezra looks at the restless creature, now at the apex of its aggravation. He focuses on it in silence, and as moments pass, the creature becomes more and more calm. Slowly but surely, it reaches a point of complete tranquility and motionlessness, on account of which one could easily mistake it for being dead. Ezra? He turns to you. Where did you find this creature? In a mine and foundry. Interesting. And are there any other creatures living among or in close proximity to these? Yes, creatures with shells made of rock that have metallic blades on their backs. Those are the only ones as far as I know. He speaks, but more to himself than you. I see. Another adaptation. It makes sense. And why are you so interested in this subject? Foundry is having difficulties with these creatures, as they are infesting their mind. But the real problem is the beast, a creature identical to what I described, but larger, tougher, and much meaner. As yet, there doesn't seem to be an apparent way to kill it. To kill it. The creature, because of its heavy armor, is practically invulnerable, and nearly all who faced it lost their lives. So you want to find a way to kill it. Very well. I understand everything now. I'll tell you what you need to know. The creature you brought me is actually the larval form of the rock creature you described. As strange as that may seem, yes, these are their larvae. I've encountered them in the past, in different forms, though. Regardless, I can help you find this adaptation's weakness, but for that, you will have to bring me some part of the creature to analyze. Try to bring me a piece of its shell, or back blades if you can. If not, then bring whatever you are able to acquire. You mentioned something about adaptation. What did you mean precisely? You see, the larva uses its psi energy to cocoon itself inside living or non-living entities and tailor its genetic makeup to support the organism's further development in accordance with what it's merging with. Inside, the larva develops into its adult form, and the resulting creature is fully integrated with the entity of choice. So, if the creature wants a rock shell, it will dig itself into a rock and fuse with it. Do you know what these creatures are called? Psi-enhanced polymorphic organisms, or psimorphs for short. How come you know so much about these creatures? Knowledge like this does not arrive with merely encountering something. I've learned quite a few things throughout the years. There are bits and pieces of knowledge and history everywhere you look, and over time, things simply accumulate. Does Biocore have something to do with it? I may have come across some of their research. It's hard to remember. I have a piece of one right here. Let me see it. I will be right back. He takes the sample from you and leaves the room. Ezra returns shortly, just as I suspected. Discovered anything interesting? I've managed to analyze the composition of this impure chromium blade, and I emphasize this because over 90% of it is indeed chromium, but that you knew already. However, what you didn't know is that it is the other 10% that which differentiates vermin from a walking apocalypse. Foundry is very unfortunate in having their surrounding rock made of some of the hardest minerals in nature, for it is these materials which, together, form the living armor of these creatures. And I'm not just talking about their shell, no, it is their whole bodies which are composed of these metals and minerals, albeit in varying quantities depending on the section, of course. Chromium is in itself a resistant metal, but its strength lies in its high heat resistance. The rest of the materials serve to counteract the mechanical forces acting upon the organism. It appears that in small creatures this robustness can be overcome by conventional means, if barely. In the beast, I'd suggest you return to Foundry and tell them to collapse the cave where it lives and abandon them altogether. But that isn't an option, or else you wouldn't be here. Luckily, there is a way. By my calculations, and I've taken all the approximate constituent elements found inside the sample into consideration, the temperature necessary to melt these creatures' shell should be at least 2,500 degrees centigrade. Ironically, considering chromium is practically the essence of these creatures, this seems to be the most realistic way to defeat it, as Foundry is likely to have some means, be it a furnace or something else, which can melt chromium, hence producing temperatures this high. Well, it seems I'm going to need a, well... What about plasma weapons? How come these are ineffective against the beast when plasma can reach insane temperatures? When all molecules are ionized, yes, plasma can reach, theoretically, temperatures in the range of billions of degrees. However, most conventional plasma weapons we have today use plasma where only a fraction of gas molecules are ionized. There are three primary reasons for this. First one is technological limitation. The second is power consumption. And the third is the fact that the shooter does not want to be evaporated together with everything else around him when firing his weapon. So it seems I'm going to need a way to lure the beast into Foundry and kill it there. Anything you can do to help me with the luring part? What will you do once it's in Foundry? Do you have a plan? I don't know exactly yet, but the fact of the matter is that I still need to lure it somehow. I don't have many other options. Remember what I told you. The composition of minerals and metals in its shell makes it highly resistant to mechanical forces and high temperature. However, I'm sure you'll be able to find something there that will produce more than 2,500 degrees necessary to kill it. It is Foundry, after all. I happen to know from previous research how these creatures communicate. With the larval form you brought me, I think I'll be able to create a device which you will be able to use to summon the creature. At least, it should. What do you mean, it should? This is an improvised device that I am making out of components I have at hand. Things can go awry. Maybe it'll summon the creature you want. Maybe it'll summon something else. You won't know until you push the button. Making the device shouldn't take long, though. I believe I already have the necessary components right here. Wait some more, would you? He returns with a gift he promised. Here it is. Try your best not to disturb the larva within the device too much. You need it to be alive for the device to function properly. About the rock creatures. Okay. Hey Ezra, do you know a man called Wyatt Pear? Which, since it's been a while, that was the uh, immortal mutant man in Junkyard's Depot A. His eye stares at you, but reveals nothing. No. Well, I won't be completely confrontational. He lives in Old Junkyard. I got the impression you two know each other from way back. He described you fairly accurately. Sure you don't know him? I don't know him. Is that all you wanted to ask me? Okay, maybe I should have been more confrontational. Could have swore he gives a little bit more than that. And since we're here, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the Faceless Invasion? It is hard to determine motivations of their kind. People will be getting hysterical in fear, thinking that the Faceless have come to conquer or destroy our civilization. While in truth, the nature of this conflict is probably much less serious. The Corps poked their sticky fingers a bit too deep underground and is about to lose an arm for it. I'll see you later. And we got 2 points from that. So let's head back to my private quarters and dump the excess. Go ahead and store the secondary borer. Store the ammo. Drop the speed back to normal since we're busy with this. Alright. Oh, actually. Okay. Let's take a electronic repair kit for our fists. And then use the mechanical kits on my cleaver. Kick the speed back up. So, because I do want to wait a little bit, because I'm very serious about wanting specific things from those bladelings before we finish. Let's head to Core City, check on Jay's shop. And see if we can't get some more batteries and whatnot for super cheap. And by super cheap, I mean free. Oh, actually, there is one thing we can do while we're here. Let's do a quick save. I told you we'd meet again, Bacon. You look well enough. Listen, I'd love to chat, but I'm waiting for someone important. I'll catch you later. Sure thing, Jack. Oh wait, there he is. It's our boy Abram. Bacon of SGS. I've been waiting for you. Let me begin by saying I am quite satisfied with your performance so far. I had informed my associates of your competence, and we've reached a decision to use your abilities again. Are you still interested? Yes, I am. Good. I'm glad you said yes. You have displayed a certain potential, Bacon of SGS, a potential that few possess. I've been informed you have already met Jack Quicksilver. Good. Him and I are part of a certain organization whose name will remain unrevealed for now. What I want you to do now is to go and speak to Jack. He is waiting for you outside the bar. He has work for you. Once you've completed everything, you will receive further instructions. May I ask you some questions first? You may not. All your questions will be answered in due time, Bacon of SGS. I'll go speak to Jack. Till next time, Abram. He nods. And here he is. You've talked to Abram, I presume. He informed me earlier you helped him in Junkyard. Told me you have potential. We will put you to the test, don't worry. Before all that, I'd like to make certain things clear before we proceed. Abram and I are working for a certain organization whose name I can't reveal to you at the moment. The less you know, the better. What you do need to know is that you have shown certain qualities we seek, and if your performance continues to be satisfactory, there just might be more work for you. Everything, and I mean everything, concerning Abram, myself, and everyone, I do mean everyone, involved in what we do, stays between us. We require maximum discretion, and, just so you know, we have eyes and ears everywhere. You get it, don't you? I'm getting tired of talking, so listen up. I'll be brief. I have 3 assignments for you at the moment. You can do them in any order you like. Do know that 2 of them will require some traveling. First, I want you to go to Foundry and find our cell there. Once you do, you will be asked who goes there, to which you will reply, the neophyte. Once you're in, talk to Everard. He'll tell you what needs to be done. How do I find the cell? Bacon, if I need to tell you such basic things, you might not be cut out for this line of work. Where was I? Yes. Second, I want you to go to SGS, that's right, and find a man named Lennox Pierce. He is in need of our services, so be polite and represent us well. And what's the third assignment? The third one is here, in Core City. A man called Ohad Xander is waiting for you down at the Core City train station. He also needs some help with a certain issue. Go now. Let's not keep people waiting. You'll be paid upon assignment completion. If you have any more questions or want to trade, I'll be right here, enjoying my drink. Figure I'd save a trip and just go ahead and get those active. And it is exceedingly important that you get the best possible results on these quests. Well, that you go under the scenarios that could be considered best. You obviously don't have to do it perfectly, but there are certain stipulations in each one. Or excuse me, not Jay, Ray. You reset yet? You have reset. Wonderful. Go ahead and just grab all of those. So let's see, 3 batteries. Only got the 1. 2 vehicle engines. I only have the 1. And 3 jet ski propulsions, or suspensions. So we can finally get rid of that full stock. So, fusion cells, plasma cells, advanced electronic repair kits. Okay, no components worth buying. How do we look on... Okay, go ahead and get the 10 advanced mechanical repair kits. And... let's tentatively... yeah, I didn't think so. Let's half that and put them back. Okay. So put 4 back. Okay. That will weigh us down a fair bit, but that should be fine. Let's head back up to the middle level and head to Foundry. We'll tackle the quests there as best we can right now, and go from there. Oh, huh. That's weird. It's not displaying the fact you can interact with it, but boundary plans. So I'll take it. A slender figure stands in your way. Who goes there? The neophyte. Enter. A tall, imposing figure dressed in black stands before you, calmly waiting for you to step into the room. While the man seems fairly at ease, you sense that behind his illuminating stare that there is a mind more alert than it might appear, a mind that is capable of swiftly and accurately reacting to even the smallest sign of disturbance or danger. When he eventually does open his mouth to speak, he effortlessly manages to fill the small room with his platinum-heavy, ringing voice. We have been waiting for you. I am Everard, for the time being, and I would like to welcome you to Foundry. It's a bit chaotic here at the moment, but that should not interfere with our plans, right? Jack told me to talk to you about an assignment. I reckon he did. We have a very important situation, Bacon. One of our own is imprisoned right here in Foundry. He allowed himself to get caught during a certain act and ended up behind bars. He is being held in Foundry Prison, awaiting trial. What exactly happened? Hodor Sallywatch was tasked with following a traveling merchant named Bolivar Dodd, and was to keep an eye on him. After certain events were to take place, Hodor was instructed to assassinate him, which he did. But his exfiltration was less than desirable. He was seen and allowed himself to be apprehended. The real issue here is that Todor is one of us, therefore he knows everything we know. Right, Bacon? And if the Foundry Guard was to find out what he knows, it would be very, very bad for us. You want me to get him out? Got it. Yes. Get him out if possible. He slightly leans forward and then continues. If not, oh. Oh, and one more thing before I let you on your mission. We have had a lucky break that brought us some time. Foundry has a single judge that handled all cases, and he just recently died of food poisoning. How fortunate is that, right? With his death, Todor's case is on hold for now, giving us time to act. Or should I say, giving you time to act. You may leave now. If you have any questions, I am always here. Goodbye, Everard. Take care and keep your eyes open. Yes? I need to talk to you about a prisoner named Todor Sallywatch. Todor Sallywatch. Isn't that the man who killed Bolivar Dodd? Accused of killing. Due to Judge Taylor's passing, I'll be dealing with all criminal cases. So what is it you want to talk about? I believe he is innocent and should be released. Bacon, you've already proven trustworthy, and I thank you for all the help so far. But I haven't even gotten to this case yet, with all the work I have at the moment, and most of our investigators are busy with other cases. The reason I haven't begun is that we are still missing the murder weapon. If you happen to find it, along with any other clues, we can quickly process the case and release him. It's a deal. I'll be back with some evidence. We're in jail! Oh. I mean, y'all need to be a little bit clearer about what's not allowed. Okay. A middle-aged woman wearing gleaming metal armor gets up from behind her desk and stands up to meet her guest. She looks at you, lifting her slightly wrinkly eyelids to reveal experienced eyes that haven't lost much intensity since her younger days. Her voice, on the other hand, is already one step inside the grave, for it is heavy and low-pitched, sounding as if there is some weight on her vocal cords, which pushes the voice down into the low range. Good day, sir. My name's Delma Ward, and I'm the warden of Foundry Prison. Who might you be? I'm Bacon. It's a pleasure to meet you. Well, Bacon, what can I do to help you? I need to ask some questions about a prisoner named Todor Sallywatch. Yes, Todor Sallywatch. What did you want to ask about him? I'd like to see him. What is your relationship with him? He's my cousin. Cousin? Yes, my mother's uncle and his father's father are brothers. Okay, so let me back out of that real quick and just equip those shoes. That should probably do it. Mm. 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 Huh? Well, I guess that makes some sense. Yes, okay, all is well. What was that you asked me again? I'd like to see him. I'll allow it, but this one time only. I'll tell the guards to lead you to the visiting room. Go meet Todor. You are led into the small room by a guard who locks the door behind you. You wait for a minute or two, glancing at the electric eye of the camera sweeping the room. At last, footsteps can be heard approaching. The door opens, and a guard leads in a man you presume to be Todor. The guard locks the other door behind him, leaving you to mutual scrutiny. Todor is the first to speak. So, you're the one who wanted to talk to me. I don't remember ever seeing you before. I'm Bacon, and I've been sent by Everard. Everard? He smiles. I see my friends haven't forgotten about me. Great! What do you have in mind? Are you getting me out of here? Tell me what happened. How did you end up in here? I guess Everard tell you everything, but here goes. Hell, some time ago Everard told me to follow this guy. Bolivar Dodd, some merchant traveling around the South Underrail. I was supposed to keep an eye on him, and after receiving the green light, I was to assassinate him. All was well. When the time to kill came, I shot him with my sniper rifle. You should have seen it. His head split in half. He smiles. Large caliber rounds make gruesome wounds. Then, people panicked. They dispersed in all directions. I left the rifle on the roof, and I took the shot from him, so I wouldn't be seen walking around with it. Then I made my way down and began to retreat to the hideout. Nearly made it back. All was going according to plan. Then a guard stopped me. Damn it. I was almost there. And he was real suspicious, as if he knew I had taken the shot. Maybe someone saw me, or I don't know, but the bastard just wouldn't budge, and, well, here I am. And I had done everything right, it's just, I was out of luck. What do you mean by receiving the green light? Damn it, I don't know if I should say it, but Bolivar was supposed to meet another trader, an arms merchant working for some people in Core City. Oliver Micus is his name. Hell, the guy's been selling guns to everyone from small gangs to ironheads. I heard he even traded with lurkers. The Foundry Guard doesn't know any of this, by the way. All in all, I was to wait before Micus and Dodd met, then whack the ladder. Do you know who ordered the assassination? No, even if I did, that I can't spill. But I don't think it was Micus. I was watching them. He seemed like they made a good deal. Both seemed rather pleased. Everard is worried about you talking. You know what I mean. Todor's face becomes dead serious. I haven't spoken about the cell. They asked me all sorts of questions, but I swear I told them nothing. Everard knows me. Come on. I believe you. Don't worry. I'll get you out of here. Oh, thank you. You scared me for a moment. Whew. So, what's the plan? Can you tell me about this prison? Hell, this place is pretty well secured, that's for sure. There's cameras all over the place, with all the monitoring done from the large security room in the center of the prison. Hell, have you seen all the guards? The turrets? These people are not messing around. That's all I wanted to talk to you about. Wow, there's a sniper rifle here now. Huh. Need to talk to you about a prisoner named Todor Salywatch. I have the weapon that was used to kill Bolivar Dodd. Chief takes a careful look at the rifle. What have you got? I found this rifle on the roof of the building overlooking the alley Bolivar Dodd was shot in. I found out that Bolivar was supposed to meet an arms merchant named Oliver Micas. They had an argument, and Micas later had him shot. Micas. I remember that name mentioned, but all that you told me still doesn't prove that he killed Dodd. I might need more than that. Well, you have no evidence on Salywatch either. I see. You've already proven you are a good investigator, so I'll trust you on this. I'll take the rifle and see what information we have on Micas. I'll have my men right on it. Give him the sniper rifle. That is good. I'll pass this on and see if this was indeed the weapon Dodd was killed with. I'll also see if we can learn anything more from the weapon. Come see me later, and I'll have an answer. Got it. See you. Which, that should do it, but I remember not needing to leave and come back, so I want to take a quick transition and make sure everything checks out. You're back. Upon conducting an investigation, we discovered that the rifle you gave me was indeed used to kill Bolivar Dodd, based on the caliber, angle of shot, etc. We have no evidence that could prove that Todor fired the gun, as there were no fingerprints on the rifle, nor any other clues. We also have no way to link the gun to Micas, either. Still, due to the lack of evidence, as well as your involvement in the case, Todor Salywatch is now a free man. We will attempt to locate Micas. Hopefully that will lead us to the real murderer. Consider your friend a free man. I need to go. See you later. So most of those quests are relatively simple, provided that you can make certain checks. Can I... You're right there, buddy? Getting stuck on nothing. Oh, right, I need to go up here. About Todor Salywatch. I managed to get Todor released from prison. Excellent. I'm pleased to hear that. You did good work. Totoro will be out of foundry for a while. I'm guessing he already had I'm guessing he has already headed to a safer location. Still, I have to ask you something. Tell me, was Todor discreet about our business in Foundry? You know what I mean. He didn't say anything, I'm sure of it. He smiles. Good. I am very glad to hear that. You can return to Jack now. Your work here is done. That nabbed us 2 more points. Bernard! You find the man working on the giant furnace that's towering over the whole area. In fact, it seems like he is attempting to repair it, and judging by his barely audible swearing, he doesn't appear to have had any success so far. You see him use different tools, try out various parts, to no avail. Suddenly, he stops working and tilts his head slightly to the side, without actually turning around. A moment later, he picks up a large wrench and continues the repairs, and that's when he speaks to you. Can I help you? What are you doing here? I think it's obvious what I'm doing. He puts down his tools and turns around, wiping the sweat off his forehead and transfer it onto his already filthy coveralls. I'm Bernard. Do you need something specific, or are you just making small talk? I have some important questions. Go ahead then. By the way, your name is? Bacon. Go ahead. What you want to talk about? So how are the repairs on the furnace coming along? You mean Gloria? Her name is Gloria. Lovely name. I like it. I hear ya. Finally someone agrees with me. I've been trying to explain it to people for years. Gloria means glory, and this old girl and I have had our fair share of it. She served with me for many, many, many years. Ah, and now she's a cold, lifeless piece of junk. Oh, Gloria, why couldn't I have died before you so I don't have to suffer like this? Why can't you repair the furnace? It's a weird electrical problem, I think. I know exactly what causes it, but whatever I do somehow seems wrong. What's worse, that bastard up there says she's old, draws too much power from the system, and it's just not useful anymore because we got better ones now. I'm talking about you, Marshall, you bloody... He raises his clenched fist in the air. When Gloria broke down, our beloved mayor personally instructed everyone to not to bother repairing her. He turns toward the larger furnace, but I'm not breaking my pick. I'll find some way to fix you. I will. May I ask how high this furnace can go temperature-wise? Oh, Gloria's very high. I think she can go up to 3,000, even 3,500 degrees centigrade. Yeah, that's a lot, trust me. She can melt anything. I haven't told the mayor the same thing, but he doesn't believe me. He told me to shut my tick hole because he thinks I'm making it up to convince him to fix her. Damn him. I'll get back to you. If I'm lucky, I might be able to convince the mayor to get this old gal running again. Really? Oh, I'd be grateful for that, I would. I would. But that man is one stubborn son of a rat. So good luck to you. You're going to need every gram of it. You certainly seem to have all of the pieces coming together for how to take care of the beast. What is it now? About the mine creatures. Yes, got any useful information? I learned more about the beast and how to defeat it. Oh, I'm all ears. The creature is highly resistant to both mechanical forces as well as high temperatures. From what I've learned, our best way to defeat the creature is to use extreme heat. Temperature of over 2,500 degrees centigrade should be enough to melt its shell and kill the creature. Heat? Oh, I know what you're trying to say. You want to lure the creature inside the metalworks and try to kill it with molten metal. Is that correct? I was thinking of perhaps using that large smelting furnace near the mine to kill the beast. I even have a way to lure it there. That piece of junk. Please, that thing's been causing us more harm than good lately. It's been drawing power like a trainload of coil spiders. It even caused a blackout in half a foundry. Just recently it completely broke down, and we won't bother fixing it for now, if ever. Forget about that piece of junk and do not listen to Bernard. Don't. Luring the beast into Foundry would be a high-risk operation. The creature could go on a rampage if led into Foundry, not to mention that the smaller creatures will most likely follow it. Yes, that is what I was about to say. And, even if you somehow lure it in, none of the working furnaces can produce temperatures of that magnitude, besides these smaller ones we use for melting chromium, but those are simply too small. The mayor takes a deep breath and regains his calm. Look, we are really thankful for your help, really. But the plan you're proposing is just too risky. We need another way. Nothing at the moment. Goodbye. That gave us another 2 points. So, the mayor is, he's what a lot of people and a lot of game communities would call a bitch. Got no guts. He has no room for glory. All he wants is his next term secured. And that's why we're not going to be acting with his support. We very much want to put down the beast, and there's very good reasons for doing it. How about I help you repair the furnace? So, the mayor said no. Damn him again. But hold on, why would you want to help me fix her? What's important to you? So, it's funny you bring that up, Ski. If the things here have not respawned, because I do want one more oddity from them before we resolve things, I was actually going to do the Rat Hound King next because that's a nice unrelated bit that could be resolved relatively quickly. So the mayor said no. Damn him again. Hold on, why would you want to help me fix her? Why is it important to you? I needed to kill the large beast from the mine. Wow, that's going to be quite a challenge. But look, if you can help me fix my Gloria, she'll show you what she's capable of. He laughs. Now I'll explain what Gloria suffers from, at least what I think is the problem. You see, there's something wrong with the electrode power regulation system that's being controlled through this console. Before Gloria broke down, she started drawing so much power from the system it caused a blackout in nearly half a foundry. I don't think it's the problem with the console, but the unit itself. But nothing I try seems to work. Look. Can I take a look? Okay, just be gentle. I may or may not have enough. We've got an effective 80, which is pretty good, but that might have been enough, actually. Wow, you did it! She's alive! Hey, we did it together. I couldn't have done it all alone. Nah, you did all the hard work. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be sweating here trying to fix her. My dear Gloria. Is the furnace ready to be used? Yeah, I can't wait to see Gloria in action. I want to see her too, to tell you the truth. But the thing is, you need to load her with some ore to start the melting process. We went through most of our supplies after the mine was closed, so chances are you're going to have to go into the mine. Any ore rich in metal should do the trick. You can use the cart system to help you carry all that around. Where can I find some mining equipment? Or how do the carts work? It's as easy as under pie. Let me explain. There are levers in the mine that will bring the cart to you when used. So, wherever you're mining, just call the cart and load it with ore. Once you're back here at the furnace, use the console to recall the cart and dump the ore. You can also use the console, to start melting the ore. So simple, even a cackler wouldn't mind doing it, he laughs. Alright, I know what to do. Go for it. Oh, and let's make sure I have the exact number. About loading the furnace. Okay, he doesn't give you an exact number. Okay, no, the quest tells you need 30 impure chromium blades, which we already prepared. And we are 29 out of 30. So hopefully some of the bladelings have respawned. It's been a fair bit, so shouldn't be an unreasonable ask. Yeah, case in point, the boars that I've already killed are back, so by extension, the bladelings, or at least the ones that were killed last session, should be around. Yep. Which means... we're going to be killing a lot of them because they won't drop it. These things are being particularly annoying. I just need one more copy of the Oddity. That's it. That's all. Jeez, are you serious? Oh, could I not enter combat again yet? Hmm. Hey, there we go. Serrated Blading Blade. The 4th of 4. And level up. Let's see. Oh, actually, my effective electronics is way higher than I was thinking. And temporal is indeed high enough already. So... considering we're going to need a fair amount of dodge in the near future, it's probably worth considering. We're not grabbing those yet, but it would be good to at least qualify. So throw that up to there. Bring electronics higher. Bring tailoring higher. Both of those are respectably high on their effective output. And put a few points into mercantile, which scales off of intelligence, so it won't be as poor as the persuasion issues. Actually, did that? Oh, and that even pushes up persuasion, so you know what? It's pretty good. So... melee. Heavy punch. Pummel doesn't matter to us. Deflection might be worth getting eventually just because we'll probably end up using primarily fist weapons in the future. Deep shots would probably be worth it as well. Hey, good to have you. Hope you're having a decent day. Oh, no. Build is already pretty much determined. I'm just sifting through the current feats I can grab. We're doing a primarily fist weapon melee build with the Butcher Cleaver as a current offhand, because breaking ribs is really good. I'm getting by, can't complain too much. I've never done a melee build before. It is actually proving to be uniquely dangerous under the right circumstances. The DLC is going to be absolute hell, though. At least this early on. I'm seriously considering just grabbing combo, but... I know the DLC is great. Alright. Yeah, we're just going to grab combo. That's the best option right now. And then another point into expertise. Yeah, it's really good. And with that, we got the last oddity we needed from that, so let's actually wrap things up in Foundry now. It was satisfying. Can't do much with most of that, thanks to having a terrible will in this build, but I may return to this for another stream option way later down the road and do another full psionic build, just to cover content that wasn't touched on it this time around. Oh, for the record, I've done it before, but I mean simply to have it on stream. I did it prior to the psionic rework. Oh boy, psionics were super strong back then. Let's just save here. And it sure would be a shame if we actually fought anything that came. Yeah, Subway Wizard, Cave Wizard, all of it was super good. Back in the days when you could take all 4 psionic schools without any penalty. Now we're going to grab the 2 local NPCs that are relevant to this. And we're going to have ourselves a nice little mosh pit of violence. I vaguely recall the phrasing used, but the biggest reason was it was too powerful, which is ironic because it's still, apparently even after that, people still just go for 4 school psionic builds without even caring. I think if he didn't include temporal manipulation, a 4 school, well, rather, a 3 school build wouldn't be that busted. But when you can just aggro everything, pop stasis, wait, and then nuke everything the moment you come out of stasis. And yes, Ski does have a point, but it is what it is, you know? You're not going to win either way. Dan, would you like to help me kill the beast? Despite the fact that his face is covered by a metal helmet, you are sure that both his eyes are as intensely focused on you as if they were a pair of spotlights. Yeah, it would. I feel like it's kind of funny. Like, people still break the game with 4 psionic builds, even with it being so heavily penalized. It's just like, why did you do it? You just made it more annoying to do the same broken thing as before. And of course, he went against his word and he said, I will not be doing any more changes to the game. There's entire new quests, new structures of things, new feats and everything, so you're objectively gimping the content you can go through if you go back to the original build. I'm looking forward to Infusion. I do hope that it builds upon the setting more. Do you really think I'd leave my boring post just to kill a giant monster and save Foundry from its terror? Hell yeah! Damned if I missed the chance to have some fun in this boring place. I reckon you've got some cunning plan, right? Yeah, so ironically, the game, like, it's not a bad game, but the setting just feels kind of, yeah, it's kind of Fallout-ish. And then once you get about halfway in and you go through certain factions and you start getting towards the end and you're like, oh, this is super good. And then you go through it again with full will and you start interacting with monoliths and it's just like, huh, when's the sequel again? You're not leaving this alone, right? He's sitting on gold. I think the implication was nukes or nuke equivalents, but yeah, there's no telling what the super corporations did. They could have done anything, and it's kind of both terrifying and great. I'm going to use a large smelting furnace to turn the beast to liquid. That is so damn beautiful. I'm actually going to start crying now. Mainly tears, of course. Real men cry mercury. And well, I haven't seen Gloria in a while. That Iron Lady can sometimes turn quite hot. When she's working, that is. That's what I mean. He bursts out laughing. Oh, Bernard, you crazy idiot. But yeah, everything in the DLC just did a real good job of expanding on stuff that you knew it was there, but you had no means of exploring it. And then Professor's like, "Hi, I know all of this." Anyway, I'll be there as soon as possible, friend. I gotta do a couple of things first. Yeah, Dan's just really fun because yeah, expand it, and then I'm a security guard, and boy, this is boring. And then, of course, you can go send him to our buddy over in Core City prior to another event. So yeah, as far as this build is concerned, I was originally indecisive. You know, I just knew melee. And I did waste a couple of feats for what's going to effectively be the end game structure. But the things I took were also extremely useful for the parts I was going through, so I don't really regret picking them. We took the throat slice, knife maneuver, Dan's game. I'm not sure if that's a reference, but... Oh, gang. I forget, what was their group called? I know they were fighting the Black Crawlers, but, whatever Gorski's little group was, I don't remember if it got mentioned. Would you like to help me kill the beast? His words fly out of his mouth without delay. Oh, wait, were they the Black Crawlers? I thought their enemies were the Black Crawlers. The question is completely redundant. Yes, I will help you kill the beast. I'm guessing someone came up with a decent plan to kill it, right? We're going to use a large smelting furnace to kill it. Liquidation. That's an even worse death than what I had imagined. Great. I'll join the rest of the foundry guard at the furnace when possible. Actually, there's only one person besides you and me. Dan. What? I don't... Are you telling me you planned this pretty much on your own? Yes. You're derailed. In that case, I must be even more derailed for saying this. But I'll be there. I'll be there as soon as possible, Bacon. And now we can go and murder the beast. Yeah, we're underrailed, teehee. But, yeah, because the melee build makes absolutely no noise, I almost always play stealth, and this actually does a lot of stuff that, well, taking out an assault rifle and going full burst kind of doesn't translate well to sneaking around after the initial engagement. So let's just save here. And where's the plot item? I'm gonna laugh if I throw it away in the locker or something. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. There we go. Or do I need to activate it first? Oh, okay. Metathermics was super good, but my one big issue with it is, or at least it used to, you would take thermodynamicity, and it's all well and good up until You use cryokinesis, right? And then you switch over to some nice fire. And then you use your fireball. And that's all well and good. And then you go right back to ice and back to fire. And then what are you supposed to cast? The only applicable spell, well, psionic ability at that point was the flamethrower, which just ate your AP and other points up. There we go. That must be what they were waiting on. Which, I know they added the plasma laser thing, which is neat, but... y'all are coming, right? Did I break it? Oh, there we go. Oh, and I'm neglected to charge the power fist. So I'm just gonna wait right up here and let the gunners take care of everything. Okay. So it actually keeps track of it. Neat. Okay, combo was a very good choice. Alright. Okay. Pop some adrenaline. Yeah, this will be fine. Yeah, just gonna ignore the one right there. Okay. Boy, this is just eating the battery, though. And it worked out. Alright. Gonna keep them pacified. Oh. Well, that was a waste. Wait for the fatigue to go away. Pretty sure we can't stack another adrenaline. Nope. but that's fine. It should be fine. They shouldn't all be able to hit multiple times, or at all. Okay, no, it's a-okay. Okay. And that should be it. No? Oh, okay. It was just bugging out. And there she is. The beast. So, it is very important that you do this for several reasons, but since this is an oddity difficulty run, or I keep saying difficulty because one person said that. Since this is an oddity experience run, there's a very, very important reason to do that. The mayor removes his respirator, clears his throat, and begins his speech. Beloved citizens of Foundry, today we have gathered here to celebrate a great victory. As you all know by now, we've been troubled by vile creatures that terrorized us all, especially you, the working people, the backbone of Foundry. He's really just a politician to the bone. We couldn't let it continue. We couldn't let you suffer any longer. We couldn't let those monsters tear down what you've made with your own hands. So the Foundry Guard took action and protected you. Let's hear one big round of applause for our beloved Chief Banner. The crowd cheers. Thank you, sir. Before we begin, I'd just like to take a moment to mention those who died fighting to protect Foundry. What's that? Is that a fire or a hand? Men and women who stared in the eyes of these creatures and bravely fought to allow you, their friends and family, to live another day. Let us never forget them. You will all forget them. The crowd cheers. However, the dead are not the only ones worthy of your praise. This young man played an important role in helping the Foundry Guard slay the largest of these beasts, and the one that was responsible for the most deaths. Turns to you, Bacon. Crowd cheers. Would you like to say something, Bacon? Yeah, you should elect a different mayor next time. This one's an idiot. Yes, that'll be all for today. Thank you for coming. The crowd cheers. Oh, the mayor is going to be so... Oh, he actually already got my coins, so I don't even have to go talk to him. Like, the dude just tried to turn everything into... Look, I did the right thing. No, you didn't. You were going to sit there and ruin your only form of income for your city. But Foundry is now done. Rail crossing is now done. And there's a nice little benefit that we can get access to now that we've fixed Old Gloria up. Completely unrelated to what I'm about to do. The unscathed scale of the beast. Somehow this huge scale of the beast of Foundry has evaded incineration. Worth 6 oddity points. It is the only oddity in the entire game worth 6. There's a few 5s, most of which are from the DLC, if I recall, but this is the only 6. And Head of the Beast, which that'll be relevant for later. Also, the moment you take the head out, the head literally pops off and the molten metal leaks out. It's a nice little detail. So getting the Devastator was one reason to get a huge amount of Stygian coins. Which, that's only for the DLC, though. There was another reason to have a ridiculous amount of money on hand. And it comes from Bernard here. He looks ecstatic. Isn't my Gloria the best? There ain't a thing in this world she couldn't melt. From the beast to freaking super steel. He lets out a content sigh. Yeah, you mentioned melting super steel earlier. What? Ah, yeah, absolutely. My Gloria could do it. It's all up to you if you want to melt your Karens. Karens? Yeah, let me explain what's up. You see, them Karens were created from a very special metal alloy, the super steel. Some techno nuts back in old Biocore. Don't say that too loud, the Rat Hound King might get angry. But you'll be paying him a visit in the very near future. Made them to function as commodity money. You see, super steel is valuable as industrial metal, not to mention super expensive to create. It's light, ductile, conductive, and also has other good properties. It ain't real commodity money though, because there's a catch, you see. Because the old Biocore technocrats wanted to keep themselves still relevant, they introduced impurities into the alloy as they produced the coins. These impurities serve two purposes. One, to take away from the good stuff of the alloy, its high conductivity and malleability, and secondly, they significantly raise its melting temperature. Shorter yet stronger barrels? Okay. So you see, not everyone was actually able to cash in on the metal, unless they had something like my dear Gloria. He looks at Gloria. Ah, Gloria. I'm assuming that's a new alloy that they're utilizing. Alright, tell me about Super Steel. Alright, listen. Oh, okay, he's just going through the same batch. Is there a way to remove these impurities and get higher quality Super Steel? Sure. We get rid of them as much as we can during the refining process, but we can't get rid of them all. At least, you know, not with the techniques our metallurgists use. Ah, I gotcha. Is there anything I can do to help? I don't know. Drugs. Unless you're a metallurgist yourself. I don't think so. Or unless you know a good one. Or unless... Hey, you're a resourceful kind of guy. Perhaps there's some useful data on these impurities, or super steel in general, out there that can do us some good. If you manage to find anything interesting, bring it to me, and I'll pass it on to Andy, our chief metallurgist. So, we have 2 of these already. And you actually managed to find something. That's golden. I'll be bringing this data to Andy as soon as possible. So, this is something that's newer, but I looked into it after the fact. There are 4 of the super steel refining datas required to get the maximum potential. 4 to 5? Okay. There's a total of 7 total you can work with that, thanks to the DLC. But either way, that's 2 of them, and we are steadily getting closer to getting the other ones. For the time being, seeing as how we've done that and taken care of Everard's assignment, we are done in Foundry for now. He'll still be hitting it on the shopping trips, but I'll handle those off stream. But I never spoke to good old Kevin. You know, I'm interested in obtaining some weapons and ammo. Could you by any chance help with any of that? I don't know what you're talking about. Perhaps you should see one of the local merchants regarding that. Uh, hmm. Don't remember there being a mercantile check. Well, let's see if Persuade does it. Okay. Yeah, Kevin is kind of a douche. Like, mega douche. I wouldn't be surprised if the weapons dealer selling to Ironheads and other gangs is actually somehow benefiting from Kevin being the way he is. Alright, you heard correctly. I can get you military grade weapons and ammunitions. But just so we're clear, not a single word about this to anyone. Understand? Yes? Show me what you got. Now, he's not going to have much that's relevant to us because we're using a melee build. I mean, you're not wrong. But it does open up a new source of Stygian coins, and given we have an excess of weapons, or do in storage, it's a great way to off-put some of the extra. For the time being, though, just take those and get out of Dodge. Oh, it's an actual quest. I don't think it'll give any experience, but that's neat. Oh, there is one more quest we can do here, but I'll tackle it later. So, I believe we owe a visit to somebody elsewhere. But I need to check. Well, actually, there's probably food at Camp Hathor. No, that's the Leatherman. So we need a little more perception. Oh, there we go. Hi, Zexu, and hello, Raiders. Hope you're all having a good evening tonight. Name's Bacon. Primarily do random games, but tonight's specialty is Underrail, a Fallout similar CRPG. Really good setting. How'd your stream go? I'm hoping you feel better, at least. Oh, I can't actually see the pathway. Ah, I gotcha. Well, get you some rest, and I hope you do feel better soon, because I know that stuff has to be dirty. But, we're about to hunt down a savage man calling himself the King of the Rat Hounds. And rat hounds are these fairly ugly, fairly smelly, and altogether unpleasant creatures that nobody really likes, other than the Rat Hound King. And I'll keep punching them like that. They don't need the battery. But I'm more worried about something that isn't among the rat hounds. Oh, wow. There's a lot of alphas here. It's actually kind of interesting that the Rat Hound King can get set up over here at all, because I mean, I explicitly avoided it, but there's literally a Death Stalker back there. If I was playing on standard experience right now, this room would be great. All these traps would be extra experience. But I don't have much in the way of perception. Which is why I'm going to try to cheese the system a little. I may not be able to see it. Whoops. Oh well. I'll try one more thing, but worst case scenario, I guess I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. In other locations, I've read that you can get away with using the night vision goggles. So, let's waste a battery. And then I just... I don't typically use items of that nature, so I just put it down here. Yes, okay. Let's pop the marsh honey again. Nope. Alright. Guess we're doing this the hard way. And put my balaclava back on. I've only gone through this once, I want to say. Every other time, I believe I had enough perception, I found the shortcut. Shortcut completely... Ooh, I almost clicked on the exact thing. We'll go completely around this entire labyrinth. Wait, what was the point of this one? It's just an offshoot to annoy me. Guess so. Whoopsie. And there we go. Wonder if I can notice the shortcut out here easier. Well, don't worry about it for the moment. I will, however, equip these. And there he is. You find yourself face to face with a towering, muscular man. In fact, describing him simply as muscular is a great understatement, because this man has the physique of someone chiseled out of a giant block of granite. One of the two rat hounds by his sides, the gray-furred Goliath which stares at you with its hollow eyes, might as well have come from the same block, judging by its powerful, bone-chilling appearance. There is another rat hound present beside the two guard hounds. Yet its purpose is a different one. Its glossy hide is proudly being worn by the king of the rat hounds, a title which he uses to introduce himself once he addresses you with his cavernous voice. Who dares disturb the Rat Hound King? Tell me your name, or I'll have my rat hounds tear you apart. Speak. My name is Bacon. I bow down to you, Rat Hound King. Ha! You bow down to me, he bursts out laughing. This is all very amusing. A man manages to avoid my well-placed traps, strolls right into my lair, and bows down to me? I've never seen anything like this before. Ha! So, Bacon, why are you here? Why come to my lair? I was just exploring these caves, nothing else. Ha! Just exploring? If you say so. I find your visit quite amusing, so I will allow you to stay. But know that if you disrespect me or my rat hounds, you will be punished. Now, my amusing guest, let us speak, he laughs. How did you become the Rat Hound King? Become? I've always been the Rat Hound King, for it is in my blood. These rat hounds here are my brothers and sisters, my pack. Make no mistake, I may be their king, and my will may be above theirs, but our respect is mutual, and our bond is strong. We hunt together, we eat together, and we kill all those who disturb us, together. And who might that be? Or rather, who disturbs you, Rat Hound King? Evil men and women of Camp Hathor, of course. They despise us, want us gone from this world. Those people have no respect for me, my rat hounds, and my land. They call themselves hunters, but I spit on that. They're nothing but weaklings, coal diggers who think they have it all figured out. I'll kill every single one of them who dares enter my land. He grins. My traps have already taken many of their lives, and every death pleases me. Camp Hathor? It's a small camp of miners turned hunters, and it is north of my lair. They are many, and they have weapons. They are weaklings, both in body and in mind. He spits on the floor beside him. Weaklings, I say. Sound as if they've been causing you a lot of issues. Do I? Maybe because they have. I only wanted to be left alone and live with my pack on our land. But those of Camp Hathor just wouldn't leave me be. Especially one man, their former leader, Gideon. The name is snarled rather than spoken normally, and a deep, angular frown appears on his forehead, like a crack on a smooth rock. That coward. That pathetic excuse for a man. He claimed I was trespassing their hunting grounds and stealing their game, while it belonged to me long before they stopped digging coal and decided to turn to hunting. My rat hounds, my dirty rat hounds, were vermin to him, insisting they were attacking and hurting the people of Camp Hathor. Fool. That fool is now dead, not by these hands, sadly. What is even sadder is that his successor is acting in his footsteps. Still, I'm more clever. I'm more clever, and I am more strong. They'll never defeat the Rat Hound King. Is there a Rat Hound Queen? No, there is not. No woman I've ever met was worthy of being my queen. He makes a short pause, but quickly proceeds. Well, except for one. There's a young woman in Camp Hathor called Serene. She's the only one worthy of mention in that wretched place. She is stronger than most men, cunning, ferocious, beautiful. She would make a perfect woman to bear my children. He grins. Perhaps she would. How much do you really desire this woman? What exactly do you mean? Maybe I can bring her to you. Every king needs a queen. Really now. And why would you want to do that? Bringing her here would certainly be against her will, and that alone makes the task difficult, considering the things I just told you about her. For a reward, of course. I'm guessing a powerful king such as yourself has some interesting things to offer. Ha! Now you make sense. He stops to think. I'm intrigued by your proposal, Bacon, and I had already observed this woman prove her worth before, and I am certain that she is fit enough to be my queen. Whether she agrees with it or not right now is not my concern. Bring her to me, and you will be rewarded. After that, she will learn to love me and accept me as her king. She must. But first, you must bring her here. We've got ourselves a deal, Rathound King. I'll be back with her. Good. I'll be waiting. Before you leave, I think now's a good time to tell you about the hidden passage that allows you to avoid all my traps. Huh. Did you really think I would walk through the labyrinth every time I want to go out? He laughs. It's right in front of my lair. Check the north wall. You'll find it there. Now go, Bacon. But... actually, let's make sure we've got the correct shoes, and we do. Oh, Camp Hathor. Have you tried making a truce with Camp Hathor? Don't be a fool. There's no way I'll negotiate with those honorless weaklings. I'm not putting myself in the position of a stunned crawler prey just waiting for a final stab to end my life. They showed their true face to me a long, long time ago. What if I can help? You know, act like a mediator. As you said, Gideon is dead, and the new leader could perhaps listen to what you have to say. You can't say it won't work until you've tried it. He pauses to think, and you can almost hear his mind's gears turning inside his head. After a bit of thought, a smile surfaces on his face, and it gives you an answer you were waiting for. What you say is true. Perhaps Gideon's successor is someone who can be reasoned with. I'ma do you one better, Ski. I'ma do you one much better. Perhaps Gideon's successor is someone who can be reasoned with. I accept your proposal. You will negotiate with Camp Hathor in my name, as you suggested. My demands are simple. I want them to leave me alone. There will be no trespassing on my land, and that includes these caves to the south of Camp Hathor, and the south part of the hunting grounds across the river. I don't want to see them there. If they can agree on that, then I won't kill their hunters on sight anymore. I will remove my traps near their land, and won't disturb them in any way. Tell them they have the word of a king. Well, you'll see. Very well, I'll go talk to Edgar, their current leader. Just know this. I'm not letting my guard down for a second. If I sense any trickery at all, you will all die. Even if an agreement is made, I will still keep my eyes wide open. I'd be a fool otherwise. And then he once again warns you about the extra door. Nod and leave. The door is... oh, it's over here. Oh, there we go. So this is what I was trying to find because, let's be real, sidestepping all of that, yes please. So, this opens up 2 new quests. Wouldn't it be interesting if I managed to somehow complete all of them, despite them very clearly being mutually exclusive? Another obsidian shard for 5 out of 6. Oh, I have the wrong shoes on. Oopsie. So, there's some funny ways that the quests reward experience and how they factor into each other. Um, you might consider this scummy, and in truth, this might make the character seem like a sociopath. But we're on Oddity Experience, so we need to take every little bit we can get. Leave the bespoke buckle shoes on for maximum persuasion. You'll see. I met the Rat Hound King. What? You met him? Where? How? I found his lair south of here. I went past some caves filled with rat hounds, and then found an abandoned building that turned out to be the entrance to his lair. It was heavily trapped, but I managed to get inside and got to talk to him. You'll see. Then you've seen how savage and ruthless he is. I'm amazed you're even alive. I've actually managed to convince him to negotiate a truce with Camp Hathor. You did what? Without talking to me about it? You really have guts, you know that? He pauses, continuing after several moments. Wait, but what do you mean you managed to convince him to negotiate a truce? How? I suspect it ain't nothing but one of his tricks. Yes, he agreed that I do all the talking, because he doesn't trust you guys enough to meet with him. He just said that he wants you to leave him alone. No trespassing on his land south of Camp Hathor, and the south part of the hunting grounds is also his, and his alone. He said that if you can agree on that, he won't harm or disturb you in any way ever again. I don't trust any of it. It has to be a trick. I can't accept his proposal because I know it is only there to make us lower our guard, and you is manipulating you. Do not fall for his tricks. Okay, well that's a little unfortunate. I don't feel like going to the drag and drop, so we're just going to have to make do on the other bits. That was only going to give us one additional oddity experience, but I'm just going to save here. I'm going to pick this lock right here. Before you is a young woman. She is tall for a woman, and her leather coat, which looks like it has seen far better days. Yeah, Hopsy's like, bye, I'm out of here. Which has seen far better days, further emphasizes that fact, as it ends up noticeably short. Her bare arms are thin but well developed, without being overly muscular, as to ruin the feminine image, while her legs, in contrast, are thick and massive and are tucked into heavy-looking boots. She smiles as you approach her and speaks to you with a friendly-sounding voice. Oh, Bacon, so you the man that got rid of them burrowers for us? I was expecting someone a bit tougher-looking, she laughs. Name's Serene. What can I do for you? I think your Hopper escaped. What the... Hopsy? Damn it, where did he go? South it was, I believe. I hope he didn't go too far. Move aside. So, I'll explain what the intent was once we have completely finished all of this. But, like I said, it's going to make this dude seem like a sociopath when we're done. just gonna... Actually, you know what? I will wait a minute. I want to go ahead and switch my shoes back. Let's try this. Well, waiting for the combat pause to reset. I'm just gonna kick her right between the legs. Serene seems to be out cold. Carry her to the Rat-Hound King. You toss Serene over your shoulder and carry her off to her new husband. She is heavy. Ha! You truly amaze me, Bacon. You captured Serene. He looks at her with pride. Welcome to my lair, woman. You ugly, repulsive, pathetic excuse for a human being. I'll rip your heart out if you even think about touching me with your filthy fingers. She kicks her cell's door with all her might, but to no effect. You will learn to love it here, woman, and you will stay in that very cell until you come to your senses. Your beloved Beck is without you, and I hope he dies from sorrow like the spineless worm that he is. The Sood family lineage will end, while mine will flourish, just as it should be. The Rat-Hound King turns to you with a pleased grin on his face. As for you, you've done me a great service. You deserve this. He hands you a curious suit of leather armor. Welcome to the pack. But you hear loud footsteps coming from the caves leading to the lair. Suddenly, several armed men barge in, led by furious Beck. I finally tracked you down, you filthy animal. Let Serene go now. The Rat-Hound King, despite being surprised by the intruders, quickly starts laughing at Beck with a deep, mocking voice. I see you too have found my lair. Well done. I suppose my friend here couldn't keep his tracks hidden well enough, but that's not important. Maybe it's for the better that you've made it here, because this way I get the chance to finally kill Gideon's wretched spawn. Kill these nerds to protect our king? Just so you know, your father was begging and squealing for mercy as I was slowly disemboweling him. He grins at Beck. Stop taunting me with your filthy lies, beast. You never even came near to my father, else you'd have been a corpse by now. Let Serene go, and I will end your life quickly. Your father was weak, scum. All I cared about was living with my own kind, nothing more. I never cared about you or your camp. That mad father of yours wanted to slaughter us for no reason. He hated us with his whole black heart, and I wasn't going to let him exterminate us. And now I have his son's woman, and soon I'll have his son's head. Now that's what I call music. 27. Now that's what I call revenge. Enough. Prepare for a slow death, vermin. Beck then turned towards you, already killing you with his stare, and you're going to die with him and his filthy rats, you treacherous worm. Finally, he turns to his men. Boys, let's get this over with. These creatures deserve no mercy. Fight. Okay, good. They missed several times in a row. So we're going to activate our shield. Switch to our gauntlet. Yeah, ancient Rat-Hound. Look at that health. 630. Ancient Rat-Hounds are the third tier of Rat-Hound, and outside of events special ones, they are in fact the strongest Rat-Hounds in the game. So we got our shield up. Just gonna watch this go somewhere it's not supposed to. Shred them. And then just give them a little chop, chop. And I'll let them take care of the rest. But it truly would. Oh, I cannot get behind him. But it would be truly unfortunate if something untoward would occur. Time being, though, I guess I will have to work with them. Drop him. And pull off over here, so I've line of sighted the gun. So, you'll see what my reasons are shortly, but I do have a reason for wanting to maximize this scenario. Oh, did you get them? Hey, look at that, they're gone. Just gonna take all that. And, take most of this. Woo! Now open this up and recycle the garbage from all that real quick. Also, this is what he gives you, the Rat Hound Regalia. While it doesn't offer much protection, just wearing this primitive armor awakens your primal instincts of a pack animal on the hunt. It increases your strength by 1, stealth by 25, movement points by 10, movement speed by 10, gives you an immunity to fear, and the thing that's not mentioned is it makes you neutral to rat hounds. Oh, is this any good? No. It's also no good. Those can go. Can also go. Wait. Wait, what? You know what? That's worth testing. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Alright. Let me just recharge my shield. Fist is pretty good. Already back down on durability. So let's put it on. And then save. And then we'll use the knife for maximum safety. No, so these are factioned with the king, so you would need to still deal with all of them. But that's not necessarily an issue. Put on my preferred armor again. Yeah, this should be fine. Drop the grenade. Drop a flashbang. Not what I was expecting to have happen, but okay. So the ancient rat hound is immune to flashbangs. All that means is he's going to get the rougher side of things. Oh, and it's immune to incapacitation. Okay. But, the Rat Hound King is about to lose his Rat Hound jewels. And that should be all of them. Yep. So, you take his head, take his key. You can also get 2 copies of the Rat Hound Regalia. So... Well, I will wrap this set up, and then I'll explain how all the variants of this event could go. Also, he has a unique crossbow, the Jawbone, which is, interesting. Oh. Huh. It has built-in fear. Oh. I think they changed it a little bit, because I don't recall it reducing crossbow costs, so that's neat. But the ancient rat hound has an ancient rat hound tooth. Looks very menacing, especially when attached to a living ancient rat hound. Worth 3 oddity points. And coincidentally, ancient rat hound leather. Particularly strong and cunning rat hounds can live to be 100 years old or more. According to that, or so they say. You'd be a little surprised. Over the years, their hide grows thick and strong, but also becomes heavy. But we're not done just yet. Okay, well, we can leave those, actually. I'll also just take the flares. You filthy pig, if you touch me, I'll cut your tongue off. Yeah, about that. So, there's an interesting little situation we're in right now. We paid off the Rat Hound King, you know. We brought him his wife. And, you know, stuff like that. It's, you know, it's a little bit weird, but we didn't do anything super terrible. I mean, after all, nothing came of it. Just trying to find the actual, yeah, there we go. Okay, we did do it. You know, but, there's a certain unfortunate detail. Oh, oddly enough, his key does not... okay. I mean, alright, if you want to be that way, I'll just throw the grenade. Are you happy? There we go. So, we don't actually want anything she actually had, but we needed to kill her. So, due to the fact that you technically kidnapped somebody, ordinarily that would make Camp Hathor hostile to you. You know, that would be a situation that is, you know, not too desirable. I am not going... Ah, boy. Oh, okay. That's a situation that is not too desirable, you know. Nobody wants to, have an entire settlement hostile to them, right? But when you do something like this, when you do something, oh well, most of their gear isn't exactly great or anything. But when you do something like this, you know, you kind of need to leave no witnesses, you know, tie up all the loose ends. So if you actually kidnap Serene, but don't want Camp Hathor to be an enemy, and you still do plan on doing something with the Rathound King of a permanent and lethal nature, you need to kill Beck, you need to kill his whole crew, and you need to kill her. That lets you get the reward from doing his quest. But since we have his head, the Rathound King is dead. What? I should have known the negotiations wouldn't go as planned. He attacked me, and in doing so dug his own grave. I trusted him, but I now know I shouldn't have. That lying bastard, and to think we almost made a truce with him. You did excellent. There's only one thing left for me to do. You did so much for us, helped us get rid of the bugs and the Rathound King as well, therefore making our lives much easier. First, take this. He hands you 300 Karens. This is not your only reward, of course. You're one of us now. Come see me when you have the time, and I'll teach you a few things that a hunter like you might find useful. Not many get the opportunity. So, get the oddity experience for having completed this, but you wanted to teach me how to be a better hunter. Yes, you improved our lives, to put it mildly, so the least I can do to thank you is sharing some of our hunting techniques with you. Although you are one capable hunter already, I'm sure you'll get the hang of this quickly. You ready? And we let him teach us. Well done. You're a fast learner. Use this well. And he gives us a non-leveling feat. Hunter. Increases damage dealt to critters with crossbows, knives, and spears by 20%. And since we do still use the knife, that is very much worth it. That's just a flat 20% extra damage. So it doesn't work on machines, it doesn't work on humans, but I believe anything that's either an animal or maybe bugs, it's kind of weird how they get factored in. That's 20% extra damage, and that's not something to scoff at. But with that, we have finished up the Rathound King stuff. So you can simply go over there and kill him and be done with it, and that's that. That's the least beneficial route to take. You can side with him entirely and, just leave it at that. You can negotiate a truce, which, if you do it successfully, you cannot also kidnap Serene. And in addition, he will actually wander off out of those caves eventually and end up elsewhere. We'll cover that later. If you kidnap Serene, Beck always comes, and I believe if you leave it at that, you do actually become hostile to Camp Hathor. If you kidnap Serene and kill them, leave the Rathound King alive. Well, actually, you would have to kill him to kill Serene. If you do everything and take the regalia and come to Camp Hathor and have it equipped, they will turn hostile. I guess because they think you're him or something. There's various ways it can all play out. The most beneficial way is to negotiate the truce with both of them. Do not report to the Rathound King, which would cinch the quest up. Kidnap Serene, and then of course resolve everything in the cave. Come back, and then you turn in the head. You also mentioned that negotiations fell apart. This allows you to get the absolute most out of everything. And while that's not really a big deal under normal experience rules, the extra oddity point would have been nice. But we are level 18 and halfway to 30. We got a new feat from that, and I am going to go get more juice. Gimme juice. Buy that, trade, leave. I'm gonna go to SGS. Get a free heal. Stash the excess. I am not sure what's weighing us down, so oh, that would be one thing. Go ahead and store some of these extra batteries. Take a look at my injuries. And with that, we are topped off. So, we've had a pretty productive session, I believe. And we are just about at the 3-hour mark. I'm actually going to save and call it now. When we pick up next time, we will actually immediately talk to Lennox Pierce and pick up on that quest. We still have that and one other one for Jack Quicksilver. And then we do have a few odds and ends for elsewhere. But... well... I would raid, but I know you're going to leave immediately. And, I believe you're the only one here. The viewer thing is very finicky. So, I will refrain from it for this time. If I stream tomorrow, it'll be dependent on depending on how other people are acting. If I do stream, it'll probably be Black Mesa. And unless plans change, I should be able to stream later in the evening Saturday. That will be Black Mesa. Even if I do stream tomorrow, I will probably still stream Black Mesa Saturday, simply because we should be getting close to the end, regardless of how long next session goes on for. So... with that said, when we wrap up Black Mesa, I will be looking into new things to fill in the slots with. But until then, thank you for coming. I hope you had fun. Have a wonderful evening, and take care of yourselves.